I'm blanking.
Good evening and welcome to our match featuring your Missouri Reign and Peoria
Hello and
City
welcome into
FC.
Columbia College here for the Missouri Reign's final game of their season, their final home game of the season, as they will play at Peoria City FC here in a conference clash. Julian, what are you looking forward to in this one?
This should be a great game. Peoria City coming in the top of the leaderboard in the Gateway Conference. The weather has sort of toned down, not nearly as hot as it was before. We should be under the lights here probably after halftime.
We are getting ready for the national anthem. We will be right back in.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since...
Now here are the starters for today's match. First, please make
Welcome back here to Columbia College as we just had our presentation of our national anthem. We're getting ready to start this game as the Missouri Reign will take on Peoria FC. Right before this game, me and Julian covered one of the craziest games that I've ever witnessed. AFC Columbia fell 1-0 in that one to the St. Louis Stars. The whole game they dominated and they just weren't able to get a goal up on the board. They had at least 20 shots on goal and they just couldn't get it done. Hopefully, if you're a Reign fan though, they will get this one done as they're set to take Peoria FC in a matter of minutes. Julian, will you give me the starting lineup for Peoria City FC in this one?
Of course I can. Starting in goal, Peyton Rhodes. In the defense for Peoria City FC, back four, number 6, Dedikian, number 4, Padilla, Livingston, and Crotty, rounding out the defense for Peoria City. In the midfield, a middle 3 for Peoria City. Sepi is playing the sort of holding defensive midfield role. Then you have number 10, Hayashi. Number 16, Cordere is a captain for Peoria City. Also, Crotty, the right back, is the other captain. The front 3 for Peoria City FC, Mayock, Murphy, and Tobin.
Now I will give you the starting lineup for your Missouri Reign. In goal, we have Katie Fitzler per normal. Dakota Aycock telling me this morning that her and Natalie Allison will split time in the goal today. So Fitzler for the first half and Allison for the second half. In the back, we have Kayla Youngerman, Daniel Bucher, Ayana Clark, and Patterson obviously filling in for the Aussie Yasmin Baird Watson, who was injured in that Kansas City game just a few days ago. In the midfield, we have Joya Aziz, Georgia Pardalos, Reagan Haggerty, and Callie McMurtry. Well, excuse me, Bailey Davis. And up top, we have Callie McMurtry and Holland Hawkins rounding it off for the Reign. Getting set to start in just one moment. The Reign are in their purple uniforms, their regular light purple home uniforms going from left to right. And Peoria City FC in their darker color with the gold imprint on them going from right to left. Julian, what do you think the biggest thing is for the Reign that they need to do today to win this game?
The Reign need to be aggressive here in this game. Peoria City is one of the more notorious teams in this league. It should be a very good game between the two sides as the Reign looking to play their last home conference game of the season. A very notorious team with plenty of fan support here at Columbia College.
Dakota Aycock telling me and Julian today that there will be a couple new faces in the starting roster or in the game for this Missouri Reign side. Obviously, coming to the end of the year, a couple injuries and a couple new faces just coming in to round it off, especially experience-wise. Some of these players not having a lot of playing time this year, but a lot of familiar faces for this Reign side. Holland Hawkins, the one stepping over the ball to take the first kick for the Reign. They will have possession here in the first half, and Peoria City will have it in the second half. She's going to play it back to Pardalos and all the way to the back line with Clark. Now over to Jungerman. Jungerman not wearing her normal headband, so a new look for her as she plays that right back role today in the place of Courtney Tucker. This one's going to be thrown in by Jungerman onto Pardalos. Pardalos looking for a Z, but it'll eventually find the feet of McMurtry. And kicked away by Peoria FC. Now back onto the feet of McMurtry. Couple good defensive stand there by Peoria to not let anything go further than the midline. That one's going to be cleared all the way to Patterson on the back line, filling the role for the Aussie Yasmin Baird-Watson, who I mentioned earlier. And it'll eventually trickle back to Jungerman.
A lot of noise in the crowd. That's thanks to the Peoria City supporters bringing their band out to Columbia, Missouri. First time we've seen an environment like this here this season.
They also came in a pretty big bus, Julian, so a very professional team coming into Columbia today to face the Reign. That one's going to find Emily Murphy at the top and played back now to Miki Hayashi. Hayashi will look out to the right now and eventually find the feet of Padilla and back onto the feet of Crotty.
One of the captains for Peoria City, one of the most notorious women's clubs in America. We've seen a lot of talent come through this system out of Peoria, Illinois.
That one's going to be intercepted by Jungerman. She was looking for a long ball into Emily Tobin, but it wasn't able to go past Jungerman. She intercepted it on the way and back to Fitzler now as the Reign reset out wide to the left. It's going to go all the way over to Bucher, the trusty Bucher, who a couple days ago played all four corners for Dakota Aycock in this Reign side. She'll win the ball back there and play it back to Clark as they switch from left to right. Fitzler will look the way of Jungerman and finds her.
Reign looking to bounce back after a tough loss last time out against FC Pride.
Yeah, they did drop that game, and they did drop their most previous game 2-0. They were winning a lot of the game in that one possession-wise, but on the score sheet were never able to put one up on the board as Bailey Davis gets her foot on that one, but it'll eventually find the feet of Yerden Padilla. And back to the line of Peoria FC once again.
Peoria City comes into this one in third place of the Gateway Conference, just above the Missouri Reign. However, there is a decent margin between points, especially goal differential as well.
Tobin will find Livingston down on the near side, but a good touch away by Clark will send that one out of bounds for a corner kick. Looks like Tobin will be the one to take the corner kick for Peoria City.
Corner kick, Peoria City.
Beautiful evening for soccer as we should be under the lights, I would say by halftime, sun setting.
It's a lot cooler than it was earlier.
It is a lot cooler. That heat was definitely an issue in the first match between AFC Columbia.
It will be Padilla sending this one into the box, but Fitzler able to get her mitts on it, and she runs that one out. In a hurry, it's going to find Hawkins up at the top. Hawkins all by herself now, defended by Seppi. Seppi still in front of it now as Hawkins turns around and faces Bucher, finds Bucher. And now finds Bailey Davis, who we saw on the second team a lot this year. She'll fill that role of the midfield.
Davis had a really nice performance against FC Pride in that 2-0 loss. Very pleasant surprise coming up from the second team, especially for playing that same day for that second team.
That one was chased down by Reagan Haggerty, but eventually passed out of bounds, and a bad touch by Emily Tobin couldn't keep it in. It'll be thrown in now for the Reign, out to Azee. Azee looked for Bailey Davis in the middle, but it'll eventually be kicked away and onto the feet of Clark as she sends it back centrally. Leah Crotty will look middle, but it'll be intercepted by Bucher. Looked to be off the hand of the Peoria City player Yerden Padilla, but the referee did not see it, and a long ball will be played in now to Livingston. Livingston on it. She tried to pass it centrally for a connection with Emily Murphy, but swept up by Katie Fitzler, and nothing doing there for Peoria City here in the 5th minute.
Nice play by Davis to retain possession off the pressure. Not the best fit
Fitzler
there.
tried to go through Patterson, hit off the back of her, and was onto the feet of AJ Mayock, but it'll be kicked around and out of bounds as it hits the snack shack over there on the far side of the field. It'll be Yerden Padilla now to take the throw in for Peoria City. As Emily Murphy receives it, she'll send it centrally. Ayanna Clark is there. McMurtry on it, but kicked away once again. Here comes Peoria City. Almost played through there by Leah Crotty, but turned around by Jungerman. Crotty now back on it. Crotty with an in-breaking shot, but it'll be just wide, and Fitzler didn't have to deal with one.
First shot we've seen of the day, and Peoria City has been looking really comfortable on the ball, stringing a lot of passes together, finally getting a shot off. Not the worst shot. Definitely something to look forward to if you are a Peoria City fan.
And in the Reign's last match, that new makeshift back line of Patterson, as Patterson's going to get it intercepted there. It's going to be a shot into the box, and a great save by Katie Fitzler on the back post to edge that one out. A great shot coming in from Yola Livingston outside the box there, just inside, as it's going to fade to the back post. But another, like I mentioned, great save by Katie Fitzler, who has had an outstanding season for the Reign of Dakota Aycock. What I was getting ready to say was that back line for the Reign, a lot of makeshift things happening after the injury to Yasmin Baird Watson, but Patterson filling her role nicely. As we saw last game, that cross will never go into the box as it was out of bounds the full time.
Not the best cross there for Peoria City, but Peoria City looking dangerous. The pressure that they are playing with, this is the exact pressure that the Missouri Reign have been susceptible to this entire season.
In their last time out, they didn't allow a goal till the 75th minute. But after 2 goals in a row from the Missouri Tiger, Mia DeVroe, they conceded that game 3-0. Defended by Jungerman now is Emily Murphy. She plays that one centrally. That's going to find the feet of Mayock, but a bad shot deflected away, and Katie Fitzler will control it once again.
Yes, that was a very tough game against Lou Fuse. They played great in that game against Lou Fuse, but it was the Columbia native to put the Reign away. Definitely should have been a handball. No call there by the ref.
Yeah, McMurtry did get her hand on that. Now past Pardalos is Seppi. And back onto Pardalos now as she shields that one away from Seppi again. Clark now will find Fitzler back in goal as the Reign reset out to the left. Fitzler will find Bucher out on the left as she looks forward for Hawkins. She finds Hawkins, but it'll be kicked away by Padilla. We've called her name a couple times today.
That was a nice play there by Padilla, getting over it. And a no-nonsense clearance. Didn't want to spoil a defensive possession for Peoria. It's a nice tackle there.
Yeah, Haggerty had it, but it'll be sent away by Seppi and out of bounds for another Reign throw. Bucher is pretty powerful on these throws, so they can go a distance if she would want them to. It's going to go to Pardalos, though, and back to Bucher as it'll get headed away by Seppi and onto the feet of Peoria City as they change fields.
Good ball.
This one's going to be played through now As Peoria City is in transition, a good touch away.
Oof.
Almost had a shot there was AJ Mayock, but it'll fall into the hands of Fitzler as she had to come out of her close box to deal with that one. She'll play it out to Jungerman.
Another dangerous possession there for Peoria City, stringing together a lot of passes and looking ever so dangerous on the attack.
McMurtry will find Azee in the middle. The ever so steady Azee, who can facilitate all over the field. This time it'll be Haggerty facilitating over to Bailey Davis, but Davis tried to connect with a falling Hawk and Hawkins, and it'll go back to the back line of Peoria City. They'll reset. This one now pressured by McMurtry. And passed back by Crotty. Now up to Seppi, but taken away by Jungerman, and it'll find McMurtry up at the top. Back to Azee now. Azee looks to the left, now turns to the right. Azee pass two, it'll find Pardalos' feet. And now back to Jungerman. Jungerman with a great cross into the box, almost finds the feet of Haggerty, but a good body out.
First dangerous possession of the day for the Reign. That was a great interception by Jungerman to start it up.
Emily Murphy plays that one out wide, but Clark is going to get to it first, and Bailey Davis now on to possession. As I mentioned once previously, she did just get pulled up from the second team. We've seen some time played up at the top squad as Fitzler's getting pressured now. A lot of pressure coming from Emily Murphy, but it'll be kicked out wide to Seppi. AJ Mayock trying to find a through ball, but again, Ajoya Azee is in the way for that one. Back onto the feet of Mayock, and now an offside Jola Livingston will let that one go past her as it goes out for a Reign throw. Bucher will take it. A lot of pressure right now from Peoria City on this far side of the field. Bucher's had to deal with a lot as Seppi's going to head that one back to Crotty. Back to Seppi now. And up the field is Peoria City. A great turn there by Emily Murphy at the top of the box. He's going to play that one to Crotty. And over the crossbar that goes as a goal kick will be taken by Fitzler here in the 12th minute.
The pressure and the passing from Peoria City is completely devastating this Reign back line. But every single shot they've had, it seems like they're just falling apart in the end, not being able to finish. Peoria City looking to break the ice here early, 12 minutes on into this one.
They look a little like AFC Columbia earlier.
AFC Columbia was completely dominant over their opponent earlier in the St. Louis Stars.
That one's going to be played long to Katie Fitzler is going to play that one long to McMurtry. And Cassie McMurtry is going to have that one kicked up in the air, and it will be a foul on her.
I think
Actually, no, it's going to be out of bounds.
Yeah.
Thought she got a little too handsy there, but she did not. As Murphy's going to receive that one, but stolen away now by McMurtry. Now Seppi will tap that one away. And
will be a Reign throw.
Will be Haggerty to take it. Looks at Azee, but will find McMurtry. And Jungerman still trying to control possession. It'll go out for a Peoria City throw. Thrown into Seppi now, defended by Jungerman. And a couple touches again will go out of bounds as they repeat the cycle. Now deflected back onto the feet of Murphy. Murphy with a lot of room to work.
A lot of speed.
Only plays in front of her is Clark and Patterson. It's going to be played through there. And right into Fitzler's hands is Jola Livingston as she shoots that one directly at Fitzler. Another critical shot on goal for Peoria City as they continue their long-staffed pressure.
That was a lovely 1-2 play there for Peoria City. Unfortunately not able to put the ball past Fitzler, but they're getting a lot of really good shots, really quality offensive possessions here against this Reign defense.
Mayock will turn around and find Padilla. Padilla looking through the middle. She'll find Seppi, but again kicked away by Jungerman. The strong back line defense of the Reign will kick it away onto the feet of Padilla. Padilla now looking for a cross. Seppi's down, now gets up, but deflected away by Bucher as she still tries to defend it. And Mayotte can never control it, out of bounds for a Peoria City throw.
Reign playing a bend but don't break defense like they have so far throughout the season, allowing their opponents to get close to the box but not getting the best shots. Peoria City have been able to get up some quality shots. Some really good saves from Fitzler has saved this Reign team.
Mayotte will play it out wide to Tobin. Tobin defended by the attacker, McMurtry. She'll turn on McMurtry, find it to the box, and it'll be played away by the likes of Patterson. A good defensive stand again by Patterson and that defensive line. A couple critical stops in a row for the Reign defense, and Katie Fitzler has got to be a little stressed back there with all the pressure so far. It'll go all the way to the back line of Peoria City as Seppi sends that one back to the center back, and now over to Leah Crotty.
And you're right, Fitzler is definitely having a word with her defense whenever she can at any break in this game. Her defense is getting absolutely torched by the passing attack that Peoria City is cooking with.
Pardalos is going to chest that one and find Bucher out wide. Bucher looked like she wanted to find Hawkins, but it went off the right side of her foot and eventually will go all the way to the back of Peoria City's back line. It'll be Seppi looking forward now, finding Emily Murphy, and cleared away. Back to Seppi once again. Seppi has done a really nice job of playing out of the back so far for Peoria City. She's actually gone up on a few occasions past the midfield line and really dealt the ball through the midfield. Always nice to see a center back coming into that midfield role and facilitating, as this one's going to be played near side now for Peoria City. It'll be Tobin with the ball. She'll find Seppi again. Seppi back to Tobin, defended by Clark.
Oh, what a
She's going to work
move.
her way through all the Reign defenders onto the back post now, and a shot coming into the box. It'll be Bree Cordray on the back post to score.
Goal, Peoria.
What an attack by Peoria City. And it all started with Seppi and Tobin able to work a nice 1-2 play there. Tobin able to split the defenders and find a wide open Cordray after her shot gets blocked. And we saw it coming. Peoria City have been dominating this entire first 17 minutes, finally getting on the board.
The Missouri Reign have been tied to that back line this entire game through the first 17 minutes. And they just couldn't find a way out as Peoria City just kept pouring on the pressure. And the likes of Patterson and Ayanna Clark could not do anything about it. Clark's going to play that one to Davis, and back to Clark now as the pressure continues. This time played all the way up to Holland Hawkins as she looks to move centrally. And now Pardalos will throw it in quickly to Hawkins. Hawkins in space, but she'll get decked by Sosi Derani. And it will be a free kick coming from a little bit outside of the box. Kayla Jungerman, the one that looks like she'll be to take it. Obviously having to come in for Courtney Tucker, the injured Courtney Tucker of last game. Like Dakota Aycock mentioned pregame to us, Julian, a couple new faces will come into this one as this is the Reign's last home game. Some new experience coming in for this team. As Ugerman's going to cross that one into the box. A great ball right down the middle. And Pardalos was trying to get ahead on that one, but it was a little too low for her as Peoria City continues to trek up the field.
Great counterattack possibility here for Peoria City if they are able to work quickly. But ball going out of bounds will not let them do that.
This one's going to be thrown back to Clark and now all the way back to Fitzler. As Fitzler looks out to the left, she will find Bucher. Bucher with a nice header. It Was a great ball down the sideline, but Haggerty just not in the right location. She was a little bit more centrally than she would have liked, and it's going to trickle out of bounds next to those lawn chairs over there on the far side of the field for a Peoria City throw-in. This one defended by Bucher now. She pushes off in the back, and that was going to be a foul all day.
A little bit too physical was Danielle Bucher, handling with a really impressive Peoria City attack. You're going to need to be physical if you have any chance here in this one.
Yeah, Peoria City coming out of the gate, really physical, really fast, and really dominant in all facets on this field through the first 20 minutes of this one. Jungerman will intercept the through ball to Seppi. Now controlled by Peoria City once again. It'll be another through ball by A.J. Mayock. Finds Seppi on the near side. Seppi will cross that one into the box, but it'll go all the way over Fitzler and over to Livingston. And a clear away will be a throw for Peoria City as Bucher got her foot onto that one and it hit the top of the snack shack.
Dangerous cross in there by Seppi. Unfortunately for Peoria City, there was no one in the box with her. Bit too quick was the fleet-footed left winger.
Bucher's going to trample her defender, and it will be a foul. Referee played advantage for a second there, but didn't have any of it as she lost possession, and Bucher will be charged with another caution.
Couple of warnings early for Bucher. She's definitely on a watch list for the referee for cards. Probably the next foul that she commits would be a yellow card. No matter how the variety, she's already been warned twice.
Bucher will stand in front of Livingston. She'll swing this one into the box. It will go back post over the head of Ayanna Clark onto the head of Hawkins. And out once again now for Hayashi. Hayashi will look to Mayock, find Mayock, back to Hayashi, and over to Seppi. Seppi's going to kick that one in the air, and McMurtry will get ahead on that one as she looks upfield. Now taken away by Tobin. And back to Hayashi once again as she kicks it back to the back line of Peoria City. Still looking ahead now onto the feet of Mayock. Mayock looking for a through ball into Seppi, but once again cleared away by the trailing McMurtry and onto the feet of Holland Hawkins, who has a lot of space to work on that far side. She gets it chipped away and passes it back to Bucher, though. Bucher with a really nice turn, a really nice move. Changing feet as she'll look up. Looks for Haggerty, but taken away once again and onto the feet of Seppi.
Dangerous here.
Seppi in transition. Right. Seppi's going to shoot it, but Ayanna Clark there, and Fitzler, a nice save to not let that one go out of bounds for a corner kick. This team, Peoria City, that is very good on corner kicks, as they do have a lot of the height advantage and the physicality advantage against this Missouri Reign side. That one's going to fly over the head of McMurtry and almost land at the head of Seppi, but a couple air balls, and it's going to find the feet of Pardalo, stolen away by Hayashi.
Hayashi looking really comfortable in the middle of this field. She's been connected with a lot of Peoria City's attacks here early on. Definitely playing a really impressive number 10 role.
Now Peoria City working up the field. It's going to be Emily Tobin. Tobin now with a lot of room, pressured by Davis. Looked middle, but Haggerty to take it away as Patterson sprints up the field, but nothing doing as it'll trickle out of bounds once again on that far side. Not much going on the wings so far for the Reign. We've seen a lot of goals come from the wings this season, Julian, but that's been shut down for the most part today. A couple substitutions coming on the field for Peoria City.
Reign are playing pretty frantically right now. Every time that they get the ball, it seems like they're just trying to clear it away instead of working some passes together. When we just saw with Haggerty had a overlapping Bucher who was going to be wide open down the line. However, she just chose to clear it away. Both Shalansky sisters coming onto the pitch for the Reign.
Yeah, both Shalansky sisters. It seems like Dakota Aycock likes putting them on at the same time. In that previous game that they played a couple days ago, every time that he put one of the Shalanskys on, one of them was soon to get on the field to pair. They both play the wing position. One plays the left, one plays the right. As Hannah Shalansky will be the one to play the right and Madeline on the left. This one's going to trickle over to the feet. Onto the feet now of Emily Murphy. Murphy looks forward, but Hannah Shalansky will take it away.
That's a foul.
As she gets trampled by Hayashi right in front of the box.
It's a nice welcome to the pitch for Shalansky. Immediately getting the ball and getting trampled.
Wells also coming on for Peoria City. She'll play that right wing role. Fitzler to take it now as she looks upfield. Goes over the head of Pardalos, and Hawkins, a nice turn trying to find that one, but it'll end up at the feet of Shalansky. Shalansky into Hawkins, but it'll go all the way back to Peyton Rhodes, who we have not caught at all today.
Yeah, Hawkins and the defender, Livingston, got a little bit too aggressive with each other. It was mainly Hawkins trying to get herself past the defender and onto the ball. A little bit too handsy was the Missouri Reign striker.
Yeah, Holland Hawkins plays with a lot of passion. We saw that in the Kansas City game, Julian. This one's going to be played outside to Wells as Peoria City tried to go in transition. Hayashi will go central now, onto the feet of Padilla. And over to Murphy. Hayashi now through to Emily Tobin, but Jungerman is there, and the referee will call advantage.
Yeah, advantage was called there as Hayashi got sort of sandwiched between two Missouri Reign defenders. And referee does a good job to pull it back and award the foul. Dangerous free kick here for Peoria City. Loading the box, loading that far side, that back post.
It will be the left back, Danian, to send this one into the back post as all four Peoria City attackers are there. It's going to be swung in. Hayashi is there, the one who drew the foul. Now onto the feet of Seppi. She's going to shoot it, and it'll be deflected once again onto the feet of Pardalos. Pardalos with a quick turn.
Missouri Reign can
and
run
now
here.
Up to Azee. Azee will look for Shalansky, but a good stop again by Wells. She will play it up to Madeline Shalansky, and Azee wasn't expecting it back so fast as she'll lose it to Padilla. That one's going to be played out of bounds again as another substitution will be coming.
For the Reign, Joya Z will be stepping off.
And this is most likely, I would say, going to be Izzy
Zoe
Cole.
Lockhart.
Oh, it is going to be Zoe Lockhart.
So very aggressive substitution for Coach Dakota Aycock. So now you have both Hawkins and Lockhart on the pitch. We've seen a lot of magic between that strike force.
And the two Shalansky sisters, so a lot of attackers on the field now. We'll see how that fares up against this strong attack for Peoria City, as that one's going to be played out of bounds by Patterson.
Playing fire with fire, sometimes that's the only way to do it.
That one's going to be thrown in by Padilla, but a fast deflection away is going to be Bucher as she finds the new implemented Lockhart up at the top. Madeline Shalansky will play that one back to Bucher.
That was a great job
and
by
over
Shalansky.
to Davis.
Great job by Shalansky to keep it in play. That ball was going out of bounds. She threw herself at it and kept it in play and retained possession.
Wells is going to steal this one as she crosses that one into the box, but Fitzler didn't have to deal with it. A little bit far outside of the range of Fitzler, and she'll let it go out of bounds again for a goal kick. She did have the streaking Seppi coming in, but Jungerman was also there if need be. Seems like there's always a few players in the box no matter what for this Peoria City team. They've been playing a lot of balls through the outside and then crossing them into the box for players like Seppi and Hayashi. Murphy obviously standing up at the top. We've called her name a few times today. She's been dealing out some of the pressure to Fitzler As a head by Jungerman is eventually going to find the feet of Bailey Davis. That one's going to be
Good
played through to
ball.
Seppi. Jungerman not there. Seppi versus Fitzler. She's going to go back post, and it's going to be deflected away by Fitzler. Onto the feet of Bucher as she tips it away off to the left. Another good opportunity for this Peoria City team, and they caught the eyes of Ayanna Clark and Jungerman lacking, as Seppi, who ran onto that and shot that, is going to come off the field for a substitution for Peoria City. It will be the likes of Claus coming onto the field, playing that left wing role.
That was a crucial opportunity missed there by Seppi. Seppi, I think, tried to pass it across, but no one was there. She should have just realized that she didn't have the help that she thought she had. Should have just shot it.
A dangerous attack there will be called back by an offside from the far-lined referee.
Reign are getting away with some sloppy defense here. They need to lock in if they want to have a chance at beating this Peoria City side.
We saw in the game earlier in that Stars St. Louis game, though, one chance is really all you need to get on the board, as they barely had any chances throughout the entire game, and one long ball into the box, and they scored after a monumental collapse. So could that be the story in this game, or will Peoria City stay on top, is what we will see in the latter 60 minutes of this one. This one's going to be played all the way in, looking for either Zoe Lockhart or Holland Hawkins, but neither of them were in the vicinity, as Dadiani was able to let that one go out of bounds, and Peyton Rhodes, who has not seen the ball at all today, will take it.
Yeah, Peyton Rose has been pretty safe back there in her own net, as she has been pretty much the entire season. Peoria City, one of the better goal differentials in this league. Goal differential of +10, now +11, if things do hold.
Lots of good passing now for the Reign, as Hannah Shalansky will turn it around. She'll find Kayla Jungerman, and it'll be tipped away once again by Claus. Good triangle passing there from Dakota Acock's team to get around the defense of this Peoria City in the midfield. This will find Hawkins, but kicked away once again. Jungerman to throw, as she finds the Hawkins staring right at her. It'll go over everybody and onto the feet of Madeline Shalansky, which goes out of bounds eventually after a touch from Bree Cordray. As you can hear that drum on the far side of the field, one lone band member creating all the noise for this Peoria City side. It is good to see.
In non-league football here in the U.S., it's good to see some ultras. You don't really see many.
As Holland Hawkins has a chance here, but a great slide tackle by Ray Corday is going to send that one away and all the way back to the feet of Ayanna Clark, who finds Pardalo. Still an aggressive stance here from the Reign, as it's stole away by Hayashi. Hayashi now with numbers, as she has Wells to her right, but unable to field that one. And Padilla is going to run after it, followed by Shalansky. Now onto the feet of Cordray.
The goal scorer for Peoria City. Nice
Pardalos
turn.
now in the midfield. A great turn by her. Looks to Hannah Shalansky, but it'll be tipped out of bounds, or not out of bounds, but off the feet of her and onto the feet of Jungerman. Jungerman back to Clark now, being chased by the running Claws. But they'll switch fields and go on to the left side as Patterson looks forward, finds Davis. Patterson finds Bucher, the high Bucher, who is playing left back. Another great
Nice
ball there.
from Lockhart.
A nice ball from the holding striker Lockhart to find Madeline Shalansky. But
Goal
another
kick?
great stand there by Cordray on that far wing. That right back position has just been locked down, Julian.
Yeah, this Peoria City defense has been locked down. We haven't seen many opportunities for the Reign. The only Rain opportunity we saw was on a mistake at the back. Hawkins had a chance to capitalize on it, but a great tackle in the end prevented Hawkins to get a shot off. Good ball here, but Youngerman will get there.
Youngerman had Murphy on her back, but she won't feel the pressure as she gets it out to Bucher. Bucher now on to Davis, who's played the midfield role quite a few minutes the last 2 games for this Rain side. As I mentioned before, she did get pulled up from that second team, but sharing a lot of minutes with the midfield here. This one's going to be played into Wells now, defended by Patterson. And
What
the
a
speedy
nice
Patterson
tackle.
is going to defend that one away, still standing as she finds Bucher once again, and back to Patterson. Rain doing a really nice job of recouping there quickly.
Rain are doing a great job of recovering after Peoria City gets past their last line of defense, tracking back and playing some last line defense.
And it's the wingers for the Rain that have really tracked back the most. We haven't talked about them on the offensive end today because they've done so much on the defensive end that they haven't really been in the position to receive a long ball. But nonetheless, they are still standing. And Peoria City were looking to get a through ball in to Claus, but Youngerman will let that trickle back to Fitzler, and she'll scoop it up in this 35th minute. Fitzler's going to find Hannah Shalansky, and it'll bounce off her head, but it'll also bounce off the head of Tobin and eventually go off Hannah Shalansky as more substitutions coming. This time, Emily Murphy, the striker for the first 35 of this game, will come off. And Peoria City's Wiley will come in for the striker role. So a couple new faces on the top end for Peoria City as Hayashi with a great ball
Nice
out
switch.
wide to Padilla. Bucher on the defense now. She'll take it away, but Wells is there to recoup. Wells dribbling now and going into the box. Thought she had some more players there as Hayashi's going to try to one-tap that one. It'll go well wide, though.
Hayashi in the perfect position on that rebound, had a chance to score a screamer from out of the box. Looking dangerous, Peoria City.
And another substitution for Dakota Aycock. This
Amara
is a different
Ostel.
sighting as Amara Ostel will be playing in the right back position. We haven't seen her at any place other than striker and winger. And nonetheless, we haven't seen her on the first team at all this season, Julian. So
The
very
only-
new look for Dakota Aycock, something that he mentioned earlier.
Nice
Peoria
tackle.
FC looking to go into the box, but it'll be chipped away by Patterson. And back to Hayashi.
Yeah, the aforementioned Ostel, only first team minutes she's seen this year was against Sunflower State in that 5-0 thrashing. She ended up picking up the last 2 goals for the game for the Rain.
Wells going to shoot this from outside of the box, but Ayanna Clark is able to get her calf on that one. As Hawkins still fighting for it, now down to the ground. Tobin looks for a shot, and it'll go well wide. But just as you mentioned, Joanne, Ostel, who we haven't seen on this first team, she is definitely probably going to be the fastest person on every field she's on. She has that lightning quick speed. And for her to be on this near side, her and Madeline and Hannah Shalansky can get to working something here and possibly find the net for the Rain in this latter 7 minutes of the first half. Youngerman, who played that role last game and this game, has done a really nice job, but obviously, as hot as it is today, you always need a break, and Ostel is there to give it to her. Cordray is going to play that one out to the right.
Nice
And
ball.
out wide to Padilla. Padilla all the way up from her right back position, looking central. She'll go short central. And a shot into the box for Fitzler. It'll be Claus getting her foot on that one. Sorry, it's actually going to be Wiley getting her foot on that one. And Fitzler will take it up as we enter the 39th minute. And that's going to be off the head of Peoria City and onto the feet of Wells. Now stolen away by Patterson after a bad touch. as Padilla intercepts it once more for Peoria City, out to Wells once again. But it did go out of bounds, as the sideline referee says, and Bucher will be there to throw it in. The Reign really need to get some more balls into the midfield. It feels like everything that they're doing right now is on the outskirts.
Trying to force a ball in over the defense on the outside, but this Peoria City defense has been really good at recovering and really good at really stopping any of these long ball attempts.
Rhodes will find Cordray again as she looks forward in space, defended by Lockhart. Lockhart with a little pressure now, but a good turn there by Crotty. Back to Danignon. Now out to Hayashi. Hayashi with a good through ball on the outskirts, but never able to obtain it, is Peoria City. And Austell will be the one to throw it in. A couple substitutions here for Dakota Aycock is it will be Patterson coming off.
For Ava Martin.
Ava Martin will be coming on now for the Reign. We haven't seen her too much in defense, but on that second team, she's been a pretty active player. So another one of those players who gets a new opportunity in the first team role. Ava Martin might be the one to take this. No, it's going to be Ayanna Clark, but a foul there by Hayashi on Pardalos will lead to a free kick. And Fitzler will stand over it in the remaining 5 minutes of this one. Fitzler looking for Bailey. It'll go through her legs, and it'll go out to Madeline Shalansky. Padilla, the speedy
here.
Padilla, with lots of room to work now, looks ahead and finds Wiley. Wiley defended by the newly implemented Ava Martin, and it'll be out of bounds once again. Wiley not able to receive it.
That was great pressure there by Martin to force the out of bounds, to force the turnover.
A long throw in there, and it'll go out of bounds again for a Reign throw off the head of Padilla. Padilla's been one of the best players so far for Peoria City. She's been able to control everything at that right back position and facilitate forward like a midfielder, like a holding midfielder would. As Hannah Shalansky's going to look central to Pardalos, but it will be stolen away. Lots of room on the left to work as Claus looks back now. Finds her man, and it'll go all the way back to Crotty. Now tipped away by the Reign onto the feet of Pardalos. Onto the feet of Austell. Austell with a good move. And as we mentioned, her speed will play a factor here. She looks to go forward, but Zoe Lockhart getting trampled by 3 defenders for Peoria City will lose it. And they'll reset with Mayock. Mayock to Wells. Wells working her way through her midfield. We'll find Mayock once again, or Crotty, excuse me. Now over to Mayock. And onto the feet of Claus. Stolen away by Clark, and back to Ava Martin as she looks to the right. Over the head of Hawkins, though, as it'll find Crotty. And on the feet of Hayashi. Really good possession. And passes made by Peoria City. They've done a great job of facilitating through the midfield to the outskirts and then whipping balls into the box. That's how we saw that first goal.
Plenty of space here for Peoria City. The Missouri Reign sort of just dropping back and allowing Peoria City to dominate possession.
Austell's going to chest that one away over to Hannah Shalansky, as Hannah Shalansky just is going to kick that one up the field. But unfortunately, Zoe Lockhart is not that type of striker to go on to long ball. She's more of that holding striker that can drop back, play some defense, and is really good on set pieces. As we've mentioned in previous games, she is one of the taller players and more physical players on this Reign side that is really good for any corners or free kicks near the box. Now Mayock on it with room. She got Wells to her right, but she'll strike that one over the head of Fitzler, and it'll go out of bounds for a goal kick in this 44th minute.
Peoria City attempting a lot of these long shots, and that's whenever you know that they're feeling confident every time that they have the ball, stringing together passes, getting into some shooting opportunities, into some shooting positions on the field and taking those opportunities. They are not afraid of this rain defense.
Bailey Davis will come off and Joya C will come on. Bailey Davis, who spent all of that first half playing the holding midfield role, will come off, and Joya Z will fill her spot. Ava Martin's going to send that one out to Bucher, but it'll be tapped away by Wells, and Bucher will have to throw it in once again. Only a couple more minutes probably in this first half. Not too much stoppage time going to be given because of the lack of stops in this first half.
Yeah, we didn't have any water breaks like we had in the first game between AFC Columbia and St. Louis Stars.
Hayashi was looking near side, but decided to turn around and play it back to Dodanian. Dodanian's going to play it through now. She'll find Emily Tobin, but it'll eventually go out of bounds for a goal kick. As we reach the 45th minute here in Columbia. Still getting word on how much time we will have. It will be less than 1 minute, so Julie and I were correct on the fact that there will not be too much time given to this Reign team to make something happen.
It's been a pretty clean half. I mean, nothing too crazy other than the goal. No hard fouls.
Pretty fast pace as well. As well as is going to find her way onto this one. Past Ava Martin. Now on to the feet of AJ Mayock. Mayock looks centrally, can't find one. It'll be deflected away. Now back to Padilla. Padilla, a long shot. It'll go back to the back post. And whipped in once again. It'll find Hayashi.
And
but
offside.
The referee on the far side will call offside on that long ball in.
I believe Tobin was just a little bit offside. That long ball in was a good one.
Zoe Lockhart will race to this one. Defended by Dodanian.
That probably should do it for the first half.
Lockhart will pass back now, and I thought that would be the end of the first half, but referee is stopping possession once again. We should be coming to a close any minute now, though, as Peoria City will throw it in. And now the whistle will be blown. That's the first 45 minutes here from Columbia College in Columbia, Missouri. The Missouri Reign trail Peoria City 1-0 after a goal from Crotty in that first 15 minutes. Julian, what did you like to see there from both sides?
Peoria City looked dominant. I mean, they look very confident on the ball. They're playing it very passively, not playing it urgently. They're just playing like they have this game. They're playing like this is their game to lose. And that's what the Reign needs to realize. The Reign needs to realize that they're playing on their home turf, and they need to defend it. And instead of playing back, playing passively, you got to go out. You got to attack. You got to be aggressive in front of your home faithful. You got to be able to play through the wings. You got to be able to string passes together to have a chance in this one.
Yeah, and also I think that Missouri really need really need to play through the middle and then up to the wingers with some through balls. We really didn't see a lot of action from the wingers, especially when the Shalantes came in. They were real quiet, especially on the offensive end. So maybe playing out wide to them would be effective in the second half. That's going to do it, though, for us in the first half. We'll be back in approximately 15 minutes for the second half.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
If you or someone you know is struggling, 988 is here to help. 988 provides free and confidential support 24/7. Contact 988 anywhere in Missouri. If you or someone you know is experiencing a crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. You are not alone. If you need support, call, text, or chat 988.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
Welcome back here to Columbia, Missouri, as the Missouri Reign trail Peoria City 1-0 after the first half. In this one, Peoria City got off to a hot start, pressuring this back line of the Missouri Reign nonstop. And Katie Fitzler wasn't able to stop everything as one goal trickled past. Julian, what do the Reign need to do to get back into this one in the second half and pull out a tie or maybe even a win?
The Reign just need to step it up. I mean, seems like they've been having their backs run down them the entire game. They've been on their back heel the entire game. And they need to go out, they need to get on the front foot, and they need to come out and be aggressive. Every time that Peoria City is coming down, on offense, they're just backing up and letting Peoria City run all over them. You need to step up, you need to make a tackle and go on a counter. That's exactly what the Reign need to do if they want to make a comeback here in this one.
And what I saw a lot of that half was what you just said right now, Julian, is just getting trapped in your own box. I mean, when you're getting constant pressure like that, you almost have to fight fire with fire, maybe take some chances. And I think that's what Dakota Aycock was actually looking for at the end of that first half, putting Amara Ostel, who we normally see on the second team, playing in an attacking role, going back to the defensive line, maybe trying to spark something from defense to offense in transition. It will be Peoria City going from left to right in this half as they are wearing the black and gold imprinted kits. Their kits very nice, and they do have a large fan base here in Columbia. We saw a bus come in earlier. This is a very good organization that has produced a lot of talent throughout the Midwest and is a strong suit in this league. The Reign will be taking the right side of the field, going from right to left. And as I mentioned to start the game off, Natalie Allison, who did not start the first half, will come in the second half. Dakota Aycock telling me pregame that Allison would come in the second half, sharing time with Katie Fitzler. because of the great play that both of them have had this season. And this being the last game, some new experience for both of them. As we do see Amara Austell coming back onto the field in the second half, so she did get the last 8 minutes in that first half.
Looks
and now
like she's going back up to an attacking role. Very intriguing coaching here from Dakota Aycock. I personally like it. Austell did look really good in that first half. Had a couple of really good, really successful dribbles as well. She's very dangerous, especially with her speed. Being able to get past defenders can really bring an extra life to this Reign attack, which has needed extra life here recently.
And I really like this attack right now for Dakota Aycock. Obviously, we just mentioned Austell, but McMurtry and Holland Hawkins, that tandem is always, to me, the best tandem out there for the Reign. They work really well together, and Haggerty over here on the near side playing the left wing. Just a real explosive and fast group that can create a lot of stuff, a lot of dangerous stuff in the box for Peoria City in this second half. This one's going to be played now to Padilla, as Padilla is going to send a long ball into the box. She looked like she wanted to get Yola Livingston, but it'll fall into the hands of Natalie Allison in her first few minutes of the game. Allison will drop it on the ground and send that one all the way up to Haggerty, who started the game for the Reign. Padilla will steal it away now and find Livingston ahead. Livingston back to Padilla now. And back to Livingston as they do that tandem once more. They'll pass that one into the box, back post, but a good clearance by Jungerman will take it away before any Peoria player got a foot on the ball. A nice stand in the box after that brilliant work on the near side from Padilla to get that one in.
Is exactly what I was talking about in the first half, and also going into the second half. Peoria City is just running right by these Missouri Reign defenders. The ball moves faster than the man. That's exactly what a lot of coaches love to say, and that's exactly how Peoria City is playing. They're playing with a lot of passes, and it's working.
Padilla's going to send this one in. It's going to go near post, almost finds the head of Emily Tobin, still winding around the box. The shot comes in and eventually tapped away onto the feet of McMurtry. McMurtry with not a lot of players up. Austell running behind her. She'll be tracked down, but a foul coming on the back, and surely a yellow coming as a tactical foul comes in, chasing McMurtry. A good foul if you are a Peoria City fan.
Smart foul.
There from Yola Livingston coming all the way from her right wing position. But McMurtry was out in space there and could have created something with Austell if she didn't get tracked down there.
Very smart foul there by Livingston. Definitely cut away that attack. Would have been dangerous as Austell was also streaking on the other side for the Reign.
Hayashi will steal that away from Pardalos. Now it'll find Pardalos again as Aziz finds her. And she'll look to Patterson, finds Patterson. Goes over the head of Haggerty and finds the hands of Rhodes as she swoops that one up in the box for Peoria City. Peoria City playing out of the back now. We'll find Dedanian. Dedanian now out wide to the left as Austell comes back and kicks it away off the feet of Emily Tobin.
No nonsense clearance there from Austell, and that's what I really like about her. She's really fast, able to play a very, very nice winger role, and also just does a job. She doesn't mess around with anything. She's very straightforward with the ball and off the ball.
Padilla's going to look up and find Lauren Seppi, and open Lauren Seppi on that far side. Look back and find Emily Tobin. They've connected a few times now as Tobin's going to whip that one into the box all the way over to Yola Livingston, but it will be called offside as that tandem did get just a bit too far up the field, and a good trap there by the likes of Ayanna Clark and Patterson to stop that one.
Reign need to have a good attack here off of this free kick. Definitely, ideally want to win the header here and be able to advance the ball.
They did win the header as McMurtry's going to head that one back. Almost finds the feet of Haggerty, but eventually poked away by Lauren Seppi and Sosi Dedanian. And it'll go back to Dedanian now. Daniel will find Padilla. The explosive Padilla, and she makes a
go.
faulty pass. Patterson coming up from her center back position with lots of space to work. Looks at Haggerty, finds Haggerty in a through ball, but Daniel just there to shield her off. Daniel coming all the way from the left side of the field to defend that one. If she didn't get there in time, Amara Austell was streaking down along with Holland Hawkins and McMurtry. So that would have been very dangerous, but she took the risk and it worked out in Peoria City's favor.
That was a very, very good play there from Lily Patterson. First time we've really seen the Reign come out on a counter like that. It's the first real opportunity they've had this game. Very promising attack there, very promising counter there. See if the Reign can continue.
Over the head of Haggerty and on to the feet of Cordray, and she's going to kick that one and eventually go out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for the Reign as their bench starts to stand up.
I think they called a foul.
It will be a foul, actually. It'll be a foul on Padilla.
Yeah, they did. She got a little bit too physical there. And pretty easy foul. Easy to see for the head official.
Ayanna Clark will come over from her center back role as Jungerman pinches in.
A lot of people in the box for Coach Aycock here.
Still don't know who. It will be Bucher to send this one in. Couldn't see it from under the bench. It'll go over the head of Ayanna Clark onto the feet of Austell. Amara Austell will look back now. Finds Jungerman back on Austell's feet, and
Foul on Austell.
it will be a foul on Austell, just getting a little too pokey at the feet there. As Emily Tobin was fouled. And
that was a good set piece.
It was. It went right over the head of Ayanna Clark. If Ayanna Clark
was in a perfect position, just a little bit over the head of her. If that ball did fall a little bit shorter, it would have been a really, really tough set piece to defend.
Murphy's going to come all the way back to it, but a foul by Aziz. And Hayashi's just going to go quickly. The ball never got stopped. And that's what Dakota Aycock is screaming about right now, but Bucher will end up at the control of it. And Allison just had to clear that one away as Jola Livingston was coming at her with fury. It'll go out for a Peoria City throw, and this bench of the Missouri Reign is livid that that was not called back. Hayashi never got the ball stopped. Padilla still on it. She's trying to work her way through Bucher. And Bucher will end up tapping it away alongside Haggerty. It will go out of bounds, though, for a corner kick, and Yola Livingston will be the one to take it. And if you're the Reign, you got to be aware, especially if you're this back line. They've been really good on set pieces so far, and they do have the height advantage against some of these Missouri Reign players. Here comes the corner as this one's whipped into the back post. A header coming from Emily Tobin, but it'll eventually be cleared away.
Nice McMurtry.
McMurtry coming up in the field with flurry and kicked away there by Mayock to get it out of bounds to stop the counterattack. Right into Austell, though, is McMurtry, and she wasn't able to get control over it.
It's exactly what you want the Reign to do. You want them to come out and play on the front foot. You don't want to be playing back so much, to be aggressive and put pressure on this Peoria City defense. And they've been doing that pretty successfully here to start this second half.
Leah Crotty with lots of room in the middle finds Hayashi. Hayashi now up to Murphy, but stolen away. As the Missouri Reign look upfield, Jungerman looked out wide for Haggerty, but she just wasn't quick enough to get to it, and she knew it. She'll let it trickle away for a Padilla throw. Padilla looking long and now centrally, does go long. With Bucher on her back, couldn't do anything, and it'll go out of bounds for a Reign throw. Bucher's going to throw a long one in. Hayashi's going to get a foot on it. It will go back to Haggerty, but intercepted again as Padilla's going to hit that one forward to Murphy. Murphy now to Mayock as Mayock streaking down that near sideline. And it'll go off of Pardalos as the two of them get into it a little bit.
Throw in for the Reign.
It will be Bucher to throw in. As I mentioned in that first half, she has really good throw-ins. That's going to trickle all the way to the other side of the field for Peoria City. Danian out wide to the left. She'll find Emily Tobin. Tobin down the far flank. Tobin looking middle, shot middle, and Allison is there to control it as she dives onto that one. Another good instance where Peoria City is switching from right to left and creating something in the box. That time it was Danian up to the likes of Emily Tobin, and she got a good shot on goal, just not in the right place. Hayashi's going to let that one go by her. She'll overlap run, and it'll be kicked all the way back to Bucher on the back line. Bucher won't let it go out, though, as she turns upfield. Bucher will look for Haggerty, not find her, and Hawkins playing the midfield role now will look back to Bucher and kicked out of bounds once again by Bucher. Livingston will go quick. She'll find Mayock, and out of bounds once again. Padilla with lots of room to throw it in. She'll hit Mayock, and back to Padilla. Padilla sends it into the box. It'll go over the head of Murphy, and stolen away there by Jungerman as Austell falls to the ground. Jungerman up the field now for McMurtry.
And that was really unfortunate that Austell tripped on the attacker. If she did not, the Reign would have been able to come out in a counter, but missing that extra player to pass to had to clear it away.
Cordray to Mayock, and now Mayock out wide to the right for Livingston. Livingston still working on Bucher. She'll send that one in as Allison controls it. Still the same for Peoria City. Lots of pressure coming in on the lower third of the Reign. And the Reign have dealt with it so far in the second half, but there's only so much that you can do. Reign have had only one good, decent chance all game as Murphy's going to run onto that one. A good deflection away by Clark, but in that first half, Holland Hawkins had that opportunity to score off that errant touch in the box. Wasn't able to, as Murphy's going to find a player in the box, but it'll be offside once again. It was Sosi Danian running in for Peoria City, who almost got that one onside, but the referee called it off. It's going to go all the way up for Haggerty as McMurtry comes up, jumps at it. And it's going to be kicked by Cordray all the way back to Allison. Reign working up the field now in a flurry. It'll be Pardalos on the ball, getting tracked down. She'll find Austell up at the top. But a good job of getting in the way is Emily Tobin, and it'll go out of bounds as she lets it go out for a Peoria City throw. Back to Danian, and eventually on to Crotty. Crotty with lots of room to work. Only defender is Jungerman. But Pardalos comes in to help and steals it away off of the 50-50.
Nice job by Jungerman there. And
Murphy,
they go quick. Exactly what you want to do if you're the Reign here.
Murphy going quickly now. It'll be played on to Hawkins.
Tackle.
But a great tackle there. Just a standstill stop from Jordan Padilla.
That's going to be a card for Hawkins.
And it will be a card for Hawkins. I said it in the first half. She does play with a lot of passion. And
Smart
sometimes it doesn't work out in her favor, but it was a pretty smart foul, especially if you're a Missouri Reign fan. You want to see one of your premier players get a stop there, especially in your last home game of the season. Nothing to lose here against a conference rival. And getting a stop there in transition so that there was no dice for this Peoria City team who's going to play it out to Padilla. A great turn by Padilla.
Nice tackle.
And a great tackle by Haggerty as Holland Hawkins is going to clear that one away. A no-nonsense clearance, as Julian Munoz says. And Peoria City will throw it in shortly. It will be Padilla who sends it back to Cordray. And back to Rhodes as she looks for Danian. Danian running up the field quickly is going to look all the way over on the other side with Jola Livingston. And it'll be cut out by Jungerman. Stolen away now by Murphy. Murphy with tons of room. She'll look central. She'll find Bayok. She has Padilla to her right, finds her. That one's going to be swung into the box. Back post, Jungerman's there, chips it away. Aziz going to find it. And the shot coming from the far side, and Seppi is going to end up in the hands of Allison.
Take your time here if you're Allison. Definitely has been a lot of running for the Reign in this half. Want to gather your breaths here for these last 30 minutes as we have reached the 60-minute mark.
Great turn there by Holland Hawkins. She eventually looked for a Z, but it'll go all the way back to Hayashi, excuse me. And onto the feet of Clark, or excuse me, Austell. Play it out wide to Danian now. And now to the center for Hayashi. Hayashi looking right, going right, and Livingston was there, but it'll be cut out early by the Reign. Here's Clark up to Haggerty and back to Hawkins.
Hawkins really dropping back, sort of playing a DM role right now.
Yeah, they've had to adjust because of this strong Peoria City attack. So some changes being made in the middle of this half because of the amount of pressure that's been put on them. As this one's going to be Jola Livingston, who is going to cross it in. Intercepted there by Allison. And the Reign will reset once more. Still nothing doing in the lower third for this Peoria City team. The Reign have done a nice job on defense of cutting out anything, but nothing on offense as Hawkins is going to find that one up to McMurtry. 1-2 with Hawkins. Hawkins now with a shot. It's going to go well wide, though.
I think she was trying to find McMurtry yet again, just too far out in front for McMurtry, and Hawkins limping off. She's been playing almost the entire game, and she will get subbed.
Bailey Davis will come in for her position, along with Wells for Peoria City. Wells will take over the role on the near side for Peoria City. She'll play that right wing role as we see McMurtry pressing the back line into Danian. Haggerty chasing that one down, but a quick turn there by Leah Crotty is going to send that one over to Wells. Wells beats Bucher. We don't see that often, as Wells still continuing to fight over there on the near side. Wells turns to the middle.
Nice ball in.
She'll find Leah Crotty. And a bad touch from Crotty will end up at the feet of Jungerman, but another good chance there from Peoria City to find one into the box as McMurtry will come back to receive that one and onto the feet of Davis. Wells will end up in possession as she takes a long shot. But Allison is there again to recoup as it wasn't too powerful. And she'll walk up the field and give her team a chance to get some more energy back on this hot day here in Columbia that turned into a really nice afternoon, Julian.
It has. The sunset is beautiful just out behind the far side of the pitch.
Bailey Davis was looking for Austell. I don't know if she was trying to find a pass to her, just kick it away, but it will go out for a throw-in, and it will be Emily Tobin to take it. Another substitution here as Haggerty will come off for the Missouri Reign and Coach Dakota Aycock. It will be Zoe Lockhart, who we saw at the end of that first half, coming back onto the game.
Number 22, Zoe Lockhart.
Ayanna Clark defending Murphy there. And a bad touch there by Emily Tobin. She'll lose it. It looked like Austell had a chance.
And that's exactly what you want to see out of Austell. Just like every now and then explosive plays to motivate your team defensively or offensively. Turning defense into offense definitely is a foul on Patterson there.
Yeah, Patterson came in like a wrecking ball there, and Hayashi just got toppled. Didn't fall to the ground, but she was definitely fouled there, as looks like Danian will be the one to take this kick for Peoria City. They'll play it out wide to Wells. A mistouch by her, and it'll end up at the feet of Patterson. Now stolen away by Hayashi. Back to Patterson, though. Jungerman looked for Austell. Now Aziz going to steal it away. In transition now for the Reign, up to Zoe Lockhart. Danian there, though, as she finds Corderay back in defense. Corderay will switch fields to Wells, defended by Bucher.
Nice ball.
Now a great ball in to A.J. Mayock. Mayock in space. Only defender in front of her is Patterson. Mayock will find Wells back as Wells crosses it into the box for Hayashi. And running Murphy in, almost got a touch on that one away from Allison, but Natalie Allison able to come out of her goal in a hurry to get to that, and she will do so as her team walks up the field. Missouri Reign still yet to have any viable options up at the top to play to once they find the ball out of the back. It's been pretty stagnant up at the top today as Austell gets thrown to the ground. All the way back to Corderay and Danian. Back to Corderay. She'll send a through ball in, but a little long as it's going to go out of bounds again for a goal kick. Her and Danian have done a really nice job on the back line for Peoria City of literally allowing nothing. There has not been a single through ball for a shot or anything played over the top that they've really had to worry about, as Austell will come off the field for Madeline Shalansky. And in the back, it will be Ava Martin replacing Patterson, who looked a little gimpy. Hannah Shalansky, Madeline Shalansky's sister, will also come on. We talked about in the first half, Dakota Aycock really liked putting the sisters in at the same time up at the top end for the Missouri Reign. The chemistry they have is unmatched. Let's see if they can get something going for this team. As Ava Martin, the newly implemented, is going to kick that one up into the air for Madeline Shalansky. Padilla now out to the outskirts as A.J. Mayock and Bucher go at it once more on the corner. Mayock with a step over and into the box. That goes. It almost goes all the way over to Seppi, but taken away again, and a bad shot there from Murphy is going to go a bit wide, and Allison won't have to deal with it. It'll be another goal kick for the Reign.
22 minutes to play here. Reign still only trailing by 1. Earlier in the season, they did drop to Peoria City. Pretty high-scoring game in that one. This defense has been doing a good job of, especially in the second half, turning defense into offense. They've had a couple of really good counterattacks.
As that one's going to be taken away by Crotty off the feet of Lockhart. Lockhart had a good opportunity to get something going as that holding strikers. That one's going to be played up to Hayashi. Hayashi defended by Aziz. Aziz, who just came into the game. Hayashi's going to be playing it back to Seppi. Seppi into the box now. Almost hits the head of Wells, and it'll go out of bounds for a Missouri Reign throw. Another very dangerous opportunity as Wells was streaking into the box on that one.
Yep.
Almost got her head onto it, and that would have put Peoria City up 2-0.
That 1-2 play involving Hayashi over there was absolutely beautiful. It was a lovely back heel to Hayashi. Hayashi with a really, really nice cross into that back post. Unfortunate for Peoria City to not capitalize on that one. Reign catching another break.
Claus will come in at the striker role for Murphy. Annika Claus will replace Murphy up at the top. She will receive it. Claus in space now. Will look central, but intercepted by Ayanna Clark. And the Reign will move upfield, but not before Padilla steals it. Padilla into the box. That's going to be shot by the newly implemented Claus, and it'll go out of bounds. A nice save by Natalie Adelson to deflect that one away, and a beaming shot at the top post there. That would have won in a hurry.
Yeah, that was a absolute rocket of a shot. That one was probably going to sneak in. We saw one hit off the crossbar in the men's game earlier today. That one was definitely going to sneak into that top of the net. What a save from Allison to keep this at 1-0. Peoria City looking ever so dangerous here in the 70th minute, trying to put this one away.
It will be Wells to take the cross here for the corner kick. Peoria City, their 5th corner kick of the day. They'll have Padilla running at the top of the box, but they'll play it a ground ball into the middle. That's going to land up to the feet of Seppi, but eventually cleared away by the likes of Martin. And Hayashi will send it out wide again for Peoria City. It looked like a foul, but it wasn't. Aziz going to take that one up to Lockhart now. Dadian on the defense. She'll receive it. And she'll pass it back to Cordray. Cordray out. Find Padilla. Now to Wells.
Oh, that
It
would have
looked
been
like
nice.
Wells was going to go by Bucher, but the strong left back for Dakota Aycock is going to defend that one, and she'll throw it in for the range shortly. Patterson will re-enter the game now for the Missouri Reign in that back line. So only a 5-minute break for her, as Hayashi's going to send that one all the way to the other side of the field. It's going to be tracked down by Claus, though, but she can't ever get to it, as it's going to hit one of the signs out there on the far side. If you hear any horns or drums, there is a fan, a super fan for Peoria City, playing those sounds.
He has some pretty nice chants, I will say. Some pretty common chants we see around the sport, especially here in the U.S. Don't think anything's going to top the European atmospheres, but it's nice to have an atmosphere here in non-league soccer here in the U.S.
Another player entering the game for Peoria City is going to be Wiley. Wiley had a good shot on goal in that first half, but she'll step into that right wing role for Seppi. That's eventually going to go out of bounds, and Jungerman's going to throw it. Jungerman to a Z. Back to Clark. Shalansky was trying to get on that one, but it'll go out of bounds once again off the feet of the Danian. Through Shalansky and onto the feet of Lockhart, as Lockhart's going to have that one tipped away again by Danian. It will be Jungerman to take the throw once again as Davis runs in. It will be thrown to Davis. Davis looked like she got fouled, but it was all ball, and Peoria City will work their way up the field with Crotty. Crotty with a long ball in is going to find Wiley. Wiley chased by Patterson in the box. Wiley's going to find Wells, but it's going to go over the net.
What a save.
Oh, no, it's going to be saved by Natalie Allison, tipped up in the air by Wells. And another shot coming there from Bree Cordray is not going to find the net. Another great save by the likes of Patterson and Allison in goal.
Allison is single-handedly keeping the Reign in this game. That's a couple of saves now that would have easily been going in. Couple good shots. That one was more of a deflection as Allison had to scramble to get back up. But a great job from the keeper that Coach Dakota Aycock put in the game at halftime. We've seen both Allison and Fitzler in this one, as we have all season.
This one's going to be stolen by Padilla, now up the field to Wells. But eventually cleared away by Ayanna Clark. And Zoe Lockhart's going to be there to intercept it. It will be called a handball by the sideline referee. Zoe Lockhart's back was to the middle referee, but the sideline referee did see the handball, and he'll call it. They're still having some type of communication on whether it was or not. But going back to that goal scoring opportunity, Wells able to get a body on that one, almost going back of the net, but Natalie Allison there to punch it away. A goal scoring opportunity in the 73rd minute of this game that kept the Reign within reach.
Not too sure what's going on here. I still don't know what's going on.
I believe it might be a drop kick here, but still unsure. It did look like it deflected off the hand of Zoe Lockhart, but it will be a drop ball here as she'll find Padilla in the back, now out to Cordray. Over to Didanian. She'll look forward and find Mayock, but it'll go back all the way back to Hayashi and all the way to Cordray. Now near side with Crotty. Crotty now with excellent speed will look up the field and find AJ Mayock. Mayock fighting with Bucher once again. We'll look middle now. Back to Hayashi. Hayashi centrally for this Peoria City team as they find Padilla once again at the right back position. Crotty will find Didanian. Didanian coming back from her center back role, whip in a shot from way outside the box, take a few deflections, passes Bailey, and onto the feet of Pardalos as Zoe Lockhart in transition is going to pass that one over to Hannah Shalansky. Shalansky tried to find her way past Padilla, couldn't do so, and it'll slide by Mayock all the way to Patterson in the back. Patterson with an excellent turn to get that one back to Allison as a couple passes here from the Reign will work it their way outside of the corner and eventually up to Azee. Azee to Lockhart. Padilla still fighting for it. Lockhart looking for the long ball to Madeline Shalansky. Can't find her. And once again, this stagnant defense for Peoria City keeps clustering this Missouri Reign attack and nothing doing once again.
Reign have sort of gone back to what they were doing in the first half, sort of playing on their back foot. They need to flip it. They need to play on their front foot. They need to start counterattacking on some of these possessions, start stringing some passes together. But this Peoria City defense, as Logan said, very stagnant, very good at cutting off passing lanes.
This throw will go back to Hayashi as she looks far side. She'll pass it back to Seppi. Seppi will cross this one middle. She has one on the back post, but a little overshot as Claus would run onto that one. And Dakota Aycock is going to make some changes. Bucher looks like she'll come back into the game for the Missouri Reign. McMurtry as well, so McMurtry and Bucher coming onto the field. Lockhart, who didn't have the greatest stint this game, will exit. Don't know if we'll see her again as we reach the 78th minute. Pretty fast-paced game in this conference clash as Peoria City went up pretty early in the 15th minute, and the Reign haven't been able to have any goal-scoring opportunities since then. Leah Crotty will look out wide, but she'll eventually go back. And out wide to Didanian is Cordray. Didanian now with space looks centrally. She'll find Wiley, and a good deflection by Azee will send that one flying out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Peoria City.
Yeah, the ball is just staying in the offensive third for Peoria City. Missouri Reign struggling to get it out of their own back line, and every time they do is just they're not able to string more than two passes together. They really got to start working quickly. Got to be more aggressive here on offense.
Padilla's going to send that one back to Cordray, and that one's going to be sent all the way up. Another good ball in.
Might have been offside.
Almost found Wiley, a streaking Wiley coming in from the far side, but Allison not having to worry about that one as it's going to go a few feet wide of the goalpost as we get ready to enter this 80th minute here in Columbia, Missouri. A very one-sided game up to this point. Peoria City dominating possession and shots on goal. As Madeline Schlansky will get her foot on that one. Bailey will obtain it, but it'll be kicked back to Patterson. Back to Bailey now. And an errant pass by Bucher will find the feet of Crotty. Crotty defended by Pardalos, takes away his Pardalos. Aziz still fighting for it as Hayashi sends it wide to Wells. Wells now up to AJ Mayock. Mayock and Bucher have been battling all day. That one's going to find the middle, but Ayanna Clark is standing right there where she needs to be, and she'll find that one and kick it away for another throw in. It'll be Padilla to take it once more. And going down right outside of the box is Mayock. The ball will still be traveling up the field for the Reign, though. Maybe a counterattack coming, but quick to cut that one out as well as she's going to kick that one away. Cordray was up. Now finding the feet of McMurtry is Bucher. And Bucher's going to run back to that one with the claws running at her. A lot of noise coming from this Missouri Reign bench as they don't agree with some of the referees' calls. Padilla can't accept that one. Wells is going to lose it. McMurtry now back on the ball. Still fighting for it is Padilla. She'll find Wells once again, and it'll be back for Cordray. Dakota Aycock screaming at his team to pressure now.
That's exactly
as
what
Hannah
they need to do.
Shalansky is pressuring, but the steady Peoria City will play that one
There
out
you go.
wide.
That's exactly what you need to do if you're the Reign. Pressure and counter. Oh my.
Wow. That looked
could
dangerous.
easily-
That might be a red card.
It could very well be. It's just a yellow.
Dadanian coming in with a fluid tackle.
Studs up too. That could definitely warrant a straight red.
Sosi Dadanian coming out of nowhere, clipping the feet of Shalansky, who was running up in a hurry. She had a lot of room in front of her
Yeah,
if it
looks
wasn't
like
for
she's okay.
Dadanian. She landed on her face, but thankfully the track is grass as well, so it would be a lot worse if it was concrete or something of that nature. But regardless, it will be Jungerman to take this one. Their first set piece in over 30 to 40 minutes here in Columbia. They haven't had anything going up at the top end, but this is their first real opportunity to whip one into the box and maybe get something at the back post.
They did have a pretty good set piece earlier on in the game. Ayanna Clark almost got on the end of it.
Jungerman to take this one in. She'll whip that one in
It's a good
near
one.
post. It'll find the head of McMurtry, but eventually tapped away. Shalansky tracking this one down.
Nice move there.
Now up the field is Peoria City. It'll be Crotty up to Wells now.
That is a great pass.
A
into
great pass into
Hayashi.
Hayashi. Hayashi steps to the side, looks for a shot,
That's a pen.
and a penalty will be called
That's
as
a
Aziz
penalty.
pushes her in the back. Very unfortunate for the Reign. And this is definitely a great opportunity to go up 2-0 if you're Peoria City and haven't scored in at least 50 minutes.
First penalty we've seen all season. We've commentated almost 10 games and we haven't seen a single penalty. This is kind of exciting. This could be the nail in the coffin for the Reign. If Allison can come up big with a save here, it will definitely be a morale booster.
Hayashi to take it. She stares Natalie Allison down. Allison, who did not start the game. Will she save this? It'll go to the left, and it will be in for Hayashi. Hayashi puts the Peoria City FC up 2-0 in the 84th minute. And the Rain, still with 0 opportunities, will fall in this one.
Yeah, barring a wild comeback in these last 5+ minutes, Peoria City should be able to crawl even closer, potentially even tie Lou Fuse for the top spot in the Gateway Conference, the Gateway Conference South.
The Rain have played pretty well throughout this game defensively. It's just the midfield and attack that's really let them down and not allowed them to get out of the back, as that one's going to be stolen away again by Karate, and out wide to the right, left for Hayashi. Now all the way up to Wiley. Wiley in the corner, defended by Clark. Wiley looking central, looked for Karate, now on the feet of Hayashi. It'll get stolen away there, and Clark will clear it up to McMurtry, but Danian is there. Peoria City will reset as Danian continues to move this one upfield. Julia Aziz got a foot on it, but nothing doing as Karate continues to control the possession in the midfield for this Peoria City team, who has allowed absolutely nothing on the back end this entire day. Corderay will play it out wide.
And whistle.
But the referee whistles, and I don't know what this will be about. A yellow will be given to the sideline of the Missouri Rain. I believe it will be to Coach Aycock.
Well, it's to unsportsmanlike conduct is the call on the Rain bench.
Caution issued to the Missouri Rain bench.
For throwing a chair, is from what I'm hearing.
Dakota Aycock is claiming that since it's his chair, it shouldn't be a foul. But the referee thought otherwise, and he will be given a yellow. Still around 3 minutes to play here in regular time. We will have maybe a minute or two in added time. Pretty quick pace to this game, though. Not a lot of stops, Julian, so I'm not expecting anything astronomical.
Yeah, should see 2-3 minutes. Pretty average.
Cordray is going to play that one to Danian. Furthest we've seen this back line go back to receive a ball. As that one's going to be played up the side now for Crotty. Crotty with a lot of room to work, defended by Jungerman.
Wow.
She's going to get by Jungerman, but Patterson is going to be there. And
Nice
Pardalos is going to get by the defense. She's still defended by Padilla, and she'll get knocked over by Padilla. Padilla's got to be careful. She's already on a yellow.
And that's going to be it for her. Or wait, unless they gave it to a different player. Yeah, it was not on Padilla. I thought it,
I thought it would be on Padilla.
I guess it was on Padilla. If she was already booked earlier in the game.
Bucher will be the one to take it. This one from about 20 yards outside of the box. She'll send it back post now, but it's too far out to the right and no real goal scoring opportunity there as McMurtry wasn't close to it. Cordray on it now. She'll look in the direction of Wells, but way over the head of Wells. As this Missouri Rain bench, however, loud as ever. Cordray's going to kick that one away. Bucher to Pardalos, back to Bucher now. As she looks center for McMurtry. McMurtry back to Pardalos. Pardalos with a few good turns. And a foul there by Wells will stop it.
Whoa.
Still on it there was AJ Mayock. She might be receiving a card, but She's pointing at the scoreboard. Both of these teams getting a bit chippy now as we enter the 90th minute. Bucher will be the one to take it. Not going to be surprised if we see a fight in the box here. This one's a good cross in, back post. It'll be eventually hit away there by Padilla and onto the feet of Jungerman. They're going to collide. Wells in space now, only defended by Bucher. Wells with a lot of room to work. Bucher still running back. Wells back post is going to miss. Wells had the goal in her hands, and she just went a bit wide as Allison went near post. Allison's going to go quickly out to Bucher now. Bucher's going to swing that one up to Pardalos. Pardalos over the head of Cordray, and Cordray will send that one out of bounds.
Did he say 2 minutes?
2 minutes of added time here for the Missouri Reign to do something in their last home game of the season. This one's going to be thrown into Haley, onto Pardalos, but stolen away by Mayock. Eventually off the head of Bucher, and it will be a Peoria City throw.
Should definitely be a Peoria City throw.
It should be a Peoria City throw. Sideline referee is stating that it was a deflection, though, so it will be Peoria City. Originally called as a Reign throw.
Just about a minute left. Reign looking for some consolation here. Last minute to play here at home this season.
Cordray's going to find Peyton Rhodes in the back. Now out to Dadian. And tapped away there by Shalansky. Now out to the wide flank as Ayanna Clark gets on the ball now. Clark looked for Shalansky, but it'll eventually go out of bounds, and a throw is going to be coming in the final moments of this one. Peoria City with an extremely strong showing here in Columbia. One of the top clubs in the conference is going to take this one 2-0, barring any goals scored in the next few moments.
Fireworks going off. Second time we've seen that this season. Not too sure why, but nonetheless, always good to see.
Ayanna Clark's going to send a long ball in here. It's going to find the feet of Shalansky. Tumbled on in the back, and it will be a foul. As Seppi got a little too handsy. And one last opportunity here for the Reign at home this season. As they send everyone up into the box with Patterson to take it. Everyone except for Ayanna Clark. As Hayashi tries to stand in front of this one.
Everyone up for the Reign.
Patterson to whip this one in near post. It'll bounce off the face of Emily Tobin and out for Hayashi. That'll be it for the Missouri Reign and their last game of the home season. They will concede 2 goals today versus Peoria City and drop this one as Peoria City is now tied with Lou Fuse at the top of the standings.
Good game between the two. Things got chippy in the end, but Peoria City simply outclassed the Reign. More passes, more dribbles. Peoria City offensively looked really confident, really calm, and really patient in their build-ups, and it showed on the scoreboard. They could have scored more. I feel like Peoria City definitely played well enough to put 3 or 4 past the Reign. And thanks to Natalie Allison and Katie Fitzler, luckily it was only 2. But nonetheless, a good game between the two. I definitely did see some good things for the Reign. The Reign definitely had some moments in the game where they could have scored. Couple nice set pieces into the box. Couple unfortunate bounces. You know, something goes their way. They might put up 1 or 2 goals in this one.
Yeah, and if you're Dakota Aycock, another time where you look at the score sheet and you're disappointed in the scorecard, but you're happy about how your defense played most of the time, obviously not having Yasmin Baird-Watson. A lot of injuries in the midfield for the Missouri Reign. And based on how they played the first game of the season to their last home game of the season, they really showed a lot of improvement. I mean, you saw big strides from players like Pardalos and players like Haggerty, players like Hawkins, and some of these other players like Austell that played on the lower division team and stepped up in the big moment in this one. So if you're Dakota Aycock, very promising for the future of this franchise. And we will hope to see you next season. That is going to be all for me and my broadcast partner, Julian Munoz. They do have one more game, however. This is just the last home game of the season.
One more home game on the 25th.
For Special Olympics.
I'm getting word that there is actually another home game on the 25th. Be there for that one. That is going to be all from me and Julian Munoz. Goodbye.